Hello, everyone. Tessa here with IdeaPros, and today we are doing all things marketing. So marketing Q&A. Ask any questions that you guys have around marketing today. I might have a special guest, possibly. It is possible for me to pull people up into the stage with me. So I'm not 100% sure if we're going to have some of the guests that I was trying to cram in here today. But if we don't, I'm definitely will have them on as guests in the future. Hi, Bill. Hi, Patrick. Good to have you. All about marketing. So please, if you have questions about marketing, feel free to put them in the chat. I do have some questions that people submitted early, and we're going to cover those first, but then I will come back, and if you have a question then in the chat, we're going to go over those. And now, just so you know that my background, so you know where my marketing expertise lies, I've been doing marketing, web design and marketing since 1995. That dates me a lot. I worked for some of the largest marketing and app development companies, actually. Been really fortunate to be part of some really big agencies and got to know exactly what people do, the best way and most efficient, easy ways to do things. So I am sharing those with you today. And I know that there's a lot of people who have told me that they catch the replays. So for all of you who watch the replays and don't get your names said throughout this session, I appreciate you. Even if you're watching the replays, you are a special person in my heart. So, you're going to be in Houston, huh? Awesome, Bill. So we are literally I'm going to dive in because I'm going to hit you guys with a fire hose as I usually do. So one of the first questions, actually, I'm going to do Scott's first. So he asked, as you get closer to launching, should you link a web store to your Facebook page for marketing reasons? And I would say yes, of course. Social media is an extension of your business marketing arm. So you want to be an octopus and have as many of those as you can. But keep in mind, if you do have social media channels, you want to be able to do those in a way that doesn't look like you're not present. So a lot of people have channels out there and they're attached and they have no posts. They don't have a cover image. They don't have a profile image. I would say if you're going to attach a social media channel to your website or vice versa, make sure that you have it at least built out a little. So it's not hard to add a cover image and a photo, your logo as the main picture. So make sure that you've branded your page and you have some content. Even if you're doing once a week, just put something out there so it looks like you're current. If you have only one post and it's from 2021, it's not going to do you any service. But I also recommend that you pick social media channels that you like, because you have to be consistent and be able to produce content on those. If you despise TikTok, can't stand it, don't want to look at it, don't pick TikTok as your social media channel, okay? No matter what, if you're going to have to hire someone if you want to go that route and you want to be on that channel. And honestly, it's where can you spend your time? Where can you do it wisely, right? And create content that's really valuable. Just creating content like pictures and putting up a post, not going to do much for you unless you have a strategy. But I have some really exciting news at the end of this show. So if you do nothing else but you catch the replay and skip to the end, there's going to be a whole bunch of resources for you at the end, including two workshops that I think might be helpful for you guys. So yes, connected. There's also Instagram and Facebook shops. So if you have a physical product that you want to ship out, you can use Instagram, Facebook shops, which actually is a commerce engine in itself in the back end of the social media platforms. You can tag your products on your posts. So if you have a purse, you can tag it. They can go and buy the product right there. So if you are interested in how to set up shops, I know a lot of people have asked me about that lately. We can do a show on it. Let me know in the chat if you're looking for a Facebook shop or Instagram shop. We'll get some more information to you guys on how to use that. And it is a commerce. So you do have to set up a specific Facebook account. It has to be a business account. It's a little bit more complex than people think. They just think, I'm going to go and it's going to take 5 minutes. No, it's going to take longer than that. But it's still really good. So you can tag your products. All right. So great question, Scott. Thank you for that. And let's see. So, how can I improve my social media presence? Well, I love this question. So, improving your social media presence, well, one, be consistent and post. That's an easy one. But, set a time for yourself, say once a week, 3 days a week, whatever that might be, to create posts. But the idea behind being able to successfully do social media in your business, in everything you do, is to have a strategy of what you're doing and why you're doing it. So it's not just about posting this post, right? So I know I have shown you guys before. Actually, I don't know if I have shown you guys in this group. Well, let me see if I can get to my videos for you guys. Let's see if it'll come up. Oh, it's not in there. Okay. If you haven't seen it, I have something that's called content potatoes and fries. I'm going to see if I can load it up before the end here. But I like to think of content that you do for social media as being a content potato. So today's live, this is a content potato. It's something that's meaty. It's going to fill you up. It's got a lot of information in it. And then we make content fries from that. So, and then the video that you will see is just hilarious. And I'm going to put it up because I really do feel like this is the best way to do your social media content. So I make one thing a week. I am live. So I'm getting that juice, the link juice, and the search engine seeing that I am going live, but I'm creating lots of mini fries. So I have the video up. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what this is. And let me know if you're watching in the chat. Please hashtag live or hashtag replay for sure. All right, I'm going to check out what I got. You want to see something new? Now that I can do anything and everything I want to. Check out what I got. So let me know in the chat if that makes sense. If you caught all those little pieces. Hey, Katie. Hey, Jacob. If you caught all the little pieces, we have a potato, which could be a blog, a podcast, a video, a vlog, video, blog, video, whatever you want to count it as. Potato, and then we make it into fries. That could be infographics, carousels, mini clips, audiograms, lots and lots of other things. I am going to give you guys a free resource in the chat so you can go get all of those fries. How long did it take? So honestly, that took me 3 hours total, but half of that was going to get the fries. So it really wasn't that bad, but I would say 2 hours. There's a really cool feature in Instagram where you can align where you were before. So it does a lot, and I really didn't edit much. I clipped them and then put the text on, and the hardest part for me was matching the music. So that honestly was the biggest pain. I tried about 1 million songs, and even then I still have a song that isn't going to work on Facebook. So I have to find a different song that has commercial rights, basically. So yeah, but that's not a fry. So that one is definitely a potato. It's separate. So when you're creating fries for your social media, you're actually using the same thing. So today's show, I could actually, you might have seen in the previous weeks that we've actually stacked people up and they're tall. I can actually repurpose that into a story. I can take this and turn it into an audiogram. So I have a list of 25 different fries that you can go get. So I'll put that in the chat. That's just a list of things that you can do from one piece of content. Kind of depends on if you are a talker or a writer. So if you're going to go the writing way, you might have a blog that you're writing first, and then everything else kind of comes from there. I find video really easy because then it's the most engaging thing on social media. But we'll talk more about that because I know that was, how do you improve your social media presence? Well, do more, but do more with less. Okay, so do one piece, break it up into little pieces, and post around that, because then you're not always just guessing and like your post is random. Sorry, I guess that's my dad. Hi, Dad, if you're watching. But we are going to go into a couple other tips as far as social media presence and improving your social media presence. Consistency, do it at least 3-5 times a week minimum. I prefer daily if you can get into that routine. You can also make sure that your content is relevant for your audience and leans to somewhere. So if you're thinking, I'm going to have this freebie, which we have the Muse freebie, We have this French fry freebie. They all lead to the same place, which is how to get in front of your audience and grow your audience faster and better and connect with them more, right? But if I just post content, if I just put up a picture, a video of my dogs, great, but it doesn't actually lead anywhere. So make sure you're generating traffic back to the places that you want to go. All right. Yes. Hey, good to have y'all here. Thanks, Odin, again. I appreciate that. But yes, it is got potato. Yep. We've got, so I have a bunch of questions that I'm going off of now, but if you have a question, please type it in the chat. I will cover it as best I can. Thank you for my real comment, Katie. You know how it goes. Katie's actually in our Move to CEO program. So she's creating content. She actually was on a podcast. So she's a guest speaker on another podcast. And feel free to put your link in there, Katie, if you want. She was a guest on another podcast. So she could go back and take that as long as she has permission from the podcast guest, which normally they're totally fine. They want their content to go viral. So you can chop it up and make it into different things just from being on somebody else's podcast if they give you the video. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to keep an eye over on that chat to see if you guys have any questions. The next question that was submitted was, what low-cost ways to increase website traffic? Okay, so we have a 101 marketing idea list. It has such great things in it. So I would just say type 101 in the chat here on this Facebook reel or on this Facebook or YouTube post, and it should automatically generate to you. Just type 101 in the chat and you'll get the marketing tips list of all different kinds of ideas. And there's so many. It's like what you can do locally, what you can do on to drive traffic to your website, what you can do online. There's so many ideas. But I would say for me, it's about my core what we call our influencer hub. So for me to drive website traffic, I like to pair up with somebody who has a big audience and maybe do something that offers their audience a lot of information. So it's a one-to-many as opposed to just me trying to get one person at a time. So collaboration is really what that is. I like to do that. And if you haven't learned about Influencer Hub and how to get those pillars of people, I call them peanut butter and jelly industry, partners, basically. So Odin is a coach. Odin and I are a great pair because I don't want anyone who doesn't have a coach to work with me because they can't make up their mind about anything. They need someone to bounce ideas off of. Odin's great for that. He also helps teach sales and marketing, like how to do your sales calls. So he's an excellent, peanut butter and jelly influencer hub person for me. And we can pair up together and do marketing, sales, and marketing bootcamp, or we can do things together. And that way we're generating traffic for both of us. So those are my favorites. I get to pick on you a lot today, Odin, because it's marketing topic. But I also think that generating website traffic, Pinterest is great, amazing at generating traffic to a website. And you just have a post, you have a link because it is an external link platform. It's excellent for that. You can just post a really cool, like how to do XYZ in 3 steps, put your link there, and then people stumble across it. It's a very good search engine, very easy to market with. So I highly recommend using Pinterest to drive traffic to your website. Of course, ads are great for driving traffic, but I do tell people don't just put up an ad yourself, like going to Facebook and like boosting and, generalizing your audience. Like the dollars that you spend just doing general ads, it's going to really not to benefit you if you don't have a very strategic approach. We'll cover ads in a future show, but if you want more information about how to do ads, I do have a 3-tier approach. So, your awareness, like anyone who watches your video, everyone who's in that awareness category is going to get pixeled from Facebook or wherever you're doing your ads. Those people go into the second funnel. So anyone who saw your engagement reel for longer than 15 seconds, they dig what you're putting down, then they're going to be in the second level of ad distribution. So maybe that ad is more of a click through to get their contact information. It's consideration level is what that is. They might be looking at more information. They might be signing up for your email, but you're retargeting the first group that already saw your information. So it's not cold, right? You're not spending a ton of money on a cold lead. And then past that, anyone who saw your consideration but did not, take action yet, they're going to be in your conversion ads in that funnel type. It was a boot camp, an ad boot camp that I went to that taught this model. So highly recommend that mechanism for doing your ads, which is definitely a little harder to do yourself. So feel free, put ads in the chat if you want more information about how to do ads. We could do a workshop around that. The podcast was really easy, and now you have the video. Yay, put it in a separate post with the video link just itself so that people can click through and give you some thumbs up, because I'm just so proud that Katie's doing these potatoes and this content. Now she can chop that sucker up and get some social media posts out there. And I love that, Sean. Absolutely. Start social media early in the process. Now you are at, Sage, 91,200 followers, which is insane. And just, and I should have you on as a guest, Sean, just so you can tell us a little bit about how you built up your list, because everyone's different in how they build up their lists. But Sage right now, that's on Instagram. He has his app coming out. It's not even ready yet, and he's built that many followers. So when he does launch it, boom, instant business for him, right? So excited about that. I know I have more ideas on how to do low cost website traffic. Oh, I have one other big one that I have to say for you guys. That is local listings. So even if you're not a physical business owner and you have physical traffic to your office, you can still use local business listings. So that would be my Google My Business, and that's a listing that's on Google. Obviously, you guys all know how important those listings actually are when you are deciding on a service. You're checking it, seeing if there's reviews, if the person, is good. It's based on where you're mapping to. But as an online business, you can also use that and just mark that you don't have a physical address. So it's a little bit less, like you don't come up in the searches quite as much, but I tell you, it makes a huge difference in the search engine, because now you're on the map with Google, and Google really cares. Actually, that goes into next question. So I'm going to tell you about that one. So we have from Melanie, what is search engine optimization and why is it so important? Okay, so SEO, search engine optimization, is Google's sole purpose is to be the go-to for you when you have a question, which with AI now, there's a whole nother, debate on what's going to happen. Is Google going to eat up this AI, yada, yada. But this idea of when you go to search for something, Google wants to be your number one place to go. They want you to go. It's simple for you to find exactly what the most relevant things are. So when you really understand what Google is supposed to do, when you are trying to create content that is search engine friendly, is optimized, it is all about how are people searching and are you relevant for what they're searching for? Are you the best fit? So you could, if you're, let's say, and just go browse around for a little while, search up a couple things and see what types of listings you're seeing. You'll see that it's looking at how you word that phrase. So it's a keyword phrase. And when you spend, let's say, it's real people doing the searching, right? So if I type in restaurants near me, or if I type in restaurants in Maryville, or restaurants in Florida, whatever it is that I'm picking, if I'm telling the search engine exactly what it is and if it's locale based, where it is. So when you're trying to figure out how to optimize your search engine, how to improve your search engine optimization so that you rank in Google, you can do local listings, easy peasy. That's one of the best, easiest ways to start improving your your search engine optimization. But you also want to make sure that the words that you choose are the words that you're the best fit for. So if I'm optimizing for marketing strategy, then I want to make sure that marketing strategy is in the title of my page. It's in the headers. It's in the images. It's everywhere, not overly, because, you can what we call keyword stuff, but you don't want to put it too much. But you have to be relevant and it's interesting, but you want to be the other versions of what people would ask for too are okay to have on the page. So you don't want the same keyword exactly, just it needs to be relevant, super easy. But there's two kinds of search engine optimization: on page, which means things that you can change on your website that you have control over, and off page. Off page might be backlinks from other sites where they're saying that you're a relevant resource. It could be the local listings. Anything that's coming back into your site or pointing to you is off page SEO. So we'll talk more about that though. The big picture is, what is it? It's how people find you. It's how the search engine knows if you're a relevant page. Why is it important? Because everyone uses Google search. I mean, if they don't use ChatGPT, they're using Google search, right? So that's why we do it. And if you want more information about SEO, just put SEO in the chat and we'll hit that again later as well. Ooh, more questions. Okay, I'm just gonna have to read through these super quick here. Oh, and Large Magazine is interested in the Sage story. That's awesome. Okay, how about costs we may not be aware of? Patrick, so good. Okay, so wow. All right, costs that you might not be aware of. There's always hosting costs. So you always have your website hosting. That would be where your website's going to live. So the house, right? So if you're going to host, if you're using Go High Level, it's a cost to be in Go High Level. If you're using GoDaddy and you have your website up there and your domain, you're going to pay for your domain name, which is your address. It's your .com. So you're going to pay for your .com. And then you're also going to pay for your hosting, where your website's going to be. A lot of people don't really know what the difference is between those, so I like to say that. Other costs, honestly, there's email, software. Almost everything that I'm going to kind of list off right here for you is inside Go High Level. So that's why, or High Level as the name of the business is, but it's gohighlevel.com. If you're an IdeaPros partner or you are actually all tied with me, you just let me know and I can get you that for way less expensive. But it's, email marketing is one of them. You might need a booking service. So like booking with me, there's a link, you can go book it. You might need a phone number. There's all kinds of things. Ads, you might need an assistant to help you when you really get going. If you have a physical product, you might have to have a place where your physical product is being stored. If you're doing Amazon or whatnot, you're shipping your product to Amazon and then they're distributing it for you, which costs you a pretty chunk out of your money, but that's so you don't have to have a garage full of products, right? Let's see, what other expenses do people really not know about? I think that's pretty, there's sometimes business fees that you don't think about, but for the most part, Go High Level has taken all of my expenses, all my extra expenses, like review software and chat software and social media planning. All of those are inside High Level. So yeah, you're lucky because I used to pay about anywhere from like at least 3,000 to 4,000 a month just in business software. So check it out. If you haven't, Patrick, you can check out Go High Level or reach out to me and I can help you on that. Oh yeah, Katie wants more info on Facebook ads or Google ads. They are, yeah, for sure. I can do a separate show on that because that is, gosh, I took a 16-week ad course plus a boot camp and I still feel like I am not a pro at it. And I have a certification in ads now, but I can tell you that there's a basics you can learn just to get some, really simple ads out there and start testing. One thing I didn't realize about Facebook ads is that you can use it to test concepts, like wording of things. I never thought to use ads to see if somebody resonates more with one term, how I phrase something, but that was pretty impressive to me. I could spend, $25 and I actually knew what messaging to do for marketing based on the results that we got back from ads. Super cool. It's okay. Oh, cost to download the app. So for app costs that you don't know, Oh, sorry. Costs that you wouldn't know about. Apps require a hosting space too. So if you have an app, you're going to have some app cost for hosting. You might have to pay for an SSL or secure socket layer. You might have to pay for texting services if your system is going to send text or email on your behalf. That's another one, actually. Email, which is one of the questions that we're going to get to here momentarily. But email is also one of those things where if you are using your Gmail, your free Gmail, you're only going to be able to send so many, like maybe 700, possibly less, and they can throttle you at any time. So if you're doing the back end of Go High Level through free Gmail, you're going to have a limited, it will cap you, and then it won't send that email for you. If you are sending from a branded one like IdeaPros, Tessa at IdeaPros, I have about double the email send, but I'm still capped at 1,500 a day. So if I wanted to send all you on my Friday live, doesn't make sense because I will not have enough emails. It will not get to most of you. But if you have a program like Mailgun, which can send 50,000 emails in a day, I can improve my email send rate tremendously just by putting a couple different records in my DNS, and I can actually use the Mailgun server to distribute them plus track everything of those emails that are sending out. So if you think of email as like sending, if you guys remember newspaper boys that used to chuck the newspapers at the house, don't know if we even have that anymore, but when you had a newspaper guy, he would throw it. It sometimes would end up in the bush. It sometimes would end up on the roof. Sometimes it landed on the patio right where it was supposed to. Most of the time now they end up in little newspaper boxes, right? But back then it was like you had no control over where that was really ending up. It was kind of like you take a long shot, right? That's what usually happens with email, unless you've put all the right things in place to be able to get your email to the inbox. So that's a whole nother story. But if you want help with email deliverability, there's a lot that we can do to get inbox emails in the person's inbox. And sometimes they're still going to end up on promotions tab, but they're not going to end up in spam, right? So that's a really important thing for us to talk about one of these times. I've gone through deep research with an awesome email delivery specialist. They helped to get $1 million campaign for a company, a big company too, no less, Chamber Media, who I love, and they're amazing, but they did a $1 million campaign in 14 days. So she has mastered how to get inbox deliverability to the max. And when you send through MailChimp, just so you know, this is a heads up, you do not actually have the deliverability that it says. You are actually sending that many emails, but it's not saying how many are actually getting delivered. So it will tell you open and it will tell you who clicked, right? But they don't show you the number of how many actually ended up in the mailbox, which you can do with MailChimp, with Mailgun and Go High Level. You can see how many people are actually receiving your emails, which is drastic. We were in the 20% range, which is horrible. Horrible. 20% of our emails were actually being delivered. Now that we've switched over, 98%. Huge difference. You cannot know what your marketing is doing if you can't get your emails in the inbox. I know I have so many things. Okay, I know it's the bottom of the hour and we have to go. I have more questions. I am going to come back to the chat though. We'll do another marketing session. Also, I have questions about influencer marketing, tips on engagement and how to get engaging content. And I think we covered those were the ones I was definitely obligated to cover. So I'll cover those next too in another show. And then I'll go back all the way through the chat and get all of the other questions. But thank you guys all so much for being here every Friday at noon Pacific time with us. Thank you, Odin. Hey, Odin, let's schedule a time and have you on so you can talk about all of your specialties, because Odin's amazing. He was my marketing coach. He still is my marketing coach. He's that amazing. He's such a good person. But guys, we are almost out of time. So I just hope that you guys, if you are having trouble with marketing, please reach out to me. I have movetoceo.com. We're changing Move to CEO a lot. It's going to actually be for men and women. It was for female entrepreneurs kind of exclusively, but you can check out movetoceo.com /SMS, I believe. I have a couple different places that you guys can go, but that's a social media survival workshop. So if you do want some help with social media, that would be a great place to start. It is a 6-hour total workshop. We are splitting it up into 3 days for people instead of just doing all one day. Would love to help you guys with your content, how to really structure things, how to brainstorm new ideas, costing. Okay. How to price. Is that what you're looking for, Patrick? Pricing and how to price your app. Or actually, Patrick, are you a physical product person? I can't remember. I feel like you're a physical product. Reason for question is that there's costs that we may not be aware of. Okay. Yeah, let me know if you're a physical product. For sure. Hey, Bill. Oh, I'll check my phone for sure. If you might want to text me instead of calling, just in case. If you left a voicemail. Okay, physical product for Patrick. I thought that was the case. So if for physical products, it is a different process for pricing and costs and all the things that go into getting your product to market, for sure. That's a deeper well than we can go into today, I'm sure, but I am going to write it down for you and we'll make sure to cover it. Oh, how much value do you bring to your customers? Ooh, good question. That's a good question. Like value, how much value should you bring to your customers? As much as you can. Awesome. Well, guys, I'm going to let you go for the weekend. I hope you all have an amazing weekend ahead of you and have a blessed week. We'll catch you all next week. Have a good one. Bye.